Hello and welcome to Bottom Line, our weekly show which dissects economics, policies, political developments of the week and brings to you a conclusion whether it was right or wrong. Today we are going to discuss what has come out of Davos meeting. Over 4,000 Indian, including 6 chief ministers, half a dozen union ministers and prominent CEOs went there. CEOs went to have more business, but what were our politicians doing there? They announced series of investment MOUs. But have they really appeared on the ground? Have they been converted into actual investment? If you go by the statement made, India should have been a 5 trillion economy by now. But it has. Has actual investment come up? Or ministers are spending public money on their own trip, which is nothing but seems like a paid holiday. Shankar Aiyer, my colleague, and I discuss what happened in Davos. Can we have our own Davos in India and call international investors for a frank and fair discussion and show them that India is a real investment destination? Shankar, tell me one thing about it. What World Economic Forum, there are more discussion in Indian TV, more discussion in Indian newspapers, largest Indian media there, largest presence of Indian continent. What is this? Is it a company? It's a forum? It's a club? It's what is it? Just briefly define what is the World Economic Forum.
So at a very charitable level, I will say it is a gathering of people with a lot of good intent, pious intent. But the reality is that it is basically a global lobbying opportunity. And those who have understood it haven't gone there more than once or twice, or some people like Trump have used it very effectively to put across their message. This is basically corporate sector capturing public attention, public policy attention. And in a sense, you can say that India this time has made it look like a great Indian wedding. Everybody, 30% of the attendees apparently were Indians, and most of the chief ministers. It is a surreal spectacle. One of the young entrepreneurs who signed an investment project with foreign direct investment told me that it was surreal to see Indian chief ministers going to Davos to meet Indian companies and signing deals there. It's a theater of the absurd in some ways. So I always ask this: why not have a Davos in India?
No, we will come to that question later on. The question we should go by what is the, I am not still able to define what is the World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum, basically, according to my research, says it is a private company, it's a corporate house, it's no more a forum. It has become a collection because Mr. Rahul Bajaj was one of the founder members of it. It was a forum of few entrepreneurs who got together how to bring the corporate to back that place. They can do skiing, they can discuss, and they involve the politicians there as well. So it's basically the corporates combining politics, lobbying, as you said it, at one place which is attractive tourist destination, has become the most effective platform for international lobbying for trade and commerce. Is it right?
Correct. Absolutely. So, and this is where public policy is influenced.
Influence and right. What I have seen, I have attended that World Economic Forum only once. And I find that is also full of many scandals must be happening there. One of the scandals which I got at that time, the World Economic Forum, the Foreign Minister of India at that time, Mr. Solanki, came there with the Prime Minister of India, received him at the airport, and then I asked him, why have you come here? Then later on found out that he had come to give a letter to his counterpart, Swiss counterpart, that Beaufort investigation should not be pursued. He was in one of the rooms where the meetings are held these days. Everybody says, I met so-and-so in this room. Those rooms are also has a shady past. So I don't know what is happening there because politicians are going there, industries are going there. Earlier, industries used to seek appointment, politicians would not give. Now, politicians that go to Davos and seek appointments with the CEOs of India as well as abroad. So role reversal is happening. That politicians are wooing the industries rather than industries are wooing the world. So Davos' original agenda was to ensure capitalism, that politicians should chase the capital, not capital chasing the politicians.
In one of the sessions, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra signed agreement with a real estate developing company. The father of the boy who signed the deal is in the cabinet of Maharashtra government. And so it is absolute surrealism to see that an Indian chief minister is going there, meeting Indian companies and signing deals about investment in India. I wish that the Prime Minister's office, which clears the trips of all these chief ministers, should extract how many FDIs were, how much FDI has resulted from all these trips, and do a cost benefit analysis. I think this is taxpayers' money. You and I are paying for this, so we might as well know how much we've got out of it.
No, it's a corporate lobby. You see, like FICCI, like CII, they host meeting, they call the corporate people, call politicians, they discuss policy decision, and they backroom empty enter, they influence the policies as well. But I'm coming back to World Economic Forum, which is a quite 2 decades, 3 decades old institution, in which it has become a prominent place where the lobbying is obviously seen, where the rendezvous of people who have conflict of interest also getting together. But I'm saying who should be attending WEF? Let us not get into Devendra Fadnavis specific case. We'll get into later on. Question is, you have the international corporate people coming, selling their market, selling their product, whether they're coming for artificial intelligence or they're coming for some other purposes. They are selling, okay, what we can offer to you. But in Indian case, there was important minister like Arun Jaitley, Nirmala Sitharaman, Kamal Nath, Anand Sharma. These people have gone. Look at the delegation this time. Chandrababu Naidu must have gone 4th, 5th time there. Devendra Fadnavis also must have gone 3rd time there because they're the prominent chief minister who are visible in the social media. You're saying they were more displaying their agreement and meetings with the Indian corporate people rather than important CEOs of the corporations. I have not seen the pictures. Multinational corporations meeting most of them there, except 1 or 2 barring to Chandrababu Naidu. So it was not they have met very, very powerful CEOs of the world. Similarly, with case of minister, which will come to we'll discuss that. Then when we come to CEOs, they are spending their own money, they are spending the corporate money, they are spending the shares money. And there's a job to network at a place. It is a networking place, so we can't blame them that they have gone there. But let's come to the minister. Who were the union ministers who were present this time?
So Ashwini Vaishnav was there, minister
last
for
year,
last year also. And he is sort of the emerging face of India's semiconductor ambitions or chips ambition or AI ambition. And he was mostly networking or seen with the Indian media. I am not sure whether there has been any translation of his visit, but at least you can argue that India is looking at investment, wooing investment in AI, and so his meeting. The point about the other ministers is completely blank. I mean, have you seen, Prabhu, any picture of an Indian minister along with, say, a company like Jensen Huang's Nvidia or Oracle, or with the head of state of another country? I mean, there were so many heads of states there. Did an Indian company go and meet Macron, for instance? Emmanuel Macron was there. So these are the things that convey that you are being sought after, that India is an investment destination. That is not the impression one gets.
Vaishnav there, who was the second minister? 3-4 ministers were there, na?
So the other ministers, that is what I'm saying, Prabhu, that you cannot even recall their name because they're virtually invisible.
For example, Karnataka, there's a Joshi, one minister there, if I get his name right. He was there. Prahlad Joshi is one, and K. Ram Mohan Naidu. So the other ministers who were there, like Prahlad Joshi. I don't know. I saw a picture today in the that he was sitting in the airport lounge saying that I'm going back to thinking what we have achieved, what we haven't achieved. He has not seen in one picture what he is talking to there. What was he doing there? We still don't know. Prahlad Joshi was doing, and Mr. Ramon, what his name is? His name is K.
Ramon Naidu. He's been face of the Indian aviation, so to speak.
Aviation, what did he do? Yeah, aviation back home is in the the state Dar, where Indigo has not paid money to various people. Aviation sector in India is almost doomed. because most of the airports which are inaugurated with fanfare are not working. Instead of attending to Indian problem, what investment was he inviting there? What was his
And
role there? Except that he's an ally and he has to be obliged. Okay, young boy has come from America, studied there, and he's related to somebody in Karnataka and in Andhra. What was he doing?
but
Prahlad Joshi, what
he
was
was
he doing? Vaishnav at least was talking to various people, former IAS officer, former secretary to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the new poster boy of the current government. He was
current
talking to
comment. Yeah.
somebody, talking about five-layer technology, AI intelligence, stacking the whole thing.
Mm,
He
mm.
was talking at least something which we may understand, may not understand. But what were the other doing? Last year some
So
people went there. If you look at the last 10 years of Modi government, there are about 20 ministers again. He has been changing the minister. Because finance ministers are supposed to go there. Common ministers are supposed to be there. Piyush Goyal had gone last year. Why was in the World Economic Forum is to showcase your economic policies. But that was
and
not there.
also, and in fact, Smriti Irani, who is not a minister anymore, was more visible, was seen in panel discussions and debates, and that she probably made a better impact on the
Yeah,
WEF crowd
if
than
you look
all
at
the ministers put together.
totality, she was the face of India rather than anybody else.
Yes, yes.
Because she was in every
And
platform. She had multi meetings wherever they had. But she's running an NGO, alliance, whatever they called it. And she was there. But I'm saying sending these ministers and spending so much money. And if you do the SWOT analysis or not, so not the SWOT analysis, as you say, cost benefit analysis, so many ministers have gone, prime minister is not going, most of the prime ministers not coming. So Davos is basically a travel destination, not an investment destination.
more so, I think it seems like some ministers who have done a good job or are required for other reasons. For instance, Ramon Raidu he went with his boss Chandrababu Naidu. Basically, that was his feature. In terms of, I also saw the name of Shivraj Chauhan, but I didn't see any
I'm not
pictures
saying on
whether he
social
went
media
at
whether
all.
there's no social
Ah,
media commitment. Nobody knows Shivraj Chauhan is there. But you're right.
ah.
Chandrababu Naidu is always chasing foreign direct investment. He was in first term, he was doing the same thing. Second term, he was doing the same thing. Third term, he's doing more aggressively. Question is,
Yes.
he was also seen more with industrialists of India rather than abroad. He had some good meetings. But on the whole, our ministers and have nothing spectacular achievement to show that whom did they meet? Did they convert the environment to fair? Because actually FBI state withdrawal from stock market is becoming a problem. And when they were there, European Union people were drawing 85% facility which they are given to various commodities export from India. They were drawn that also.
So the deal that was the reality of India, the reality of the foreign trade agreements, and the EU team is now been invited for the Republic Day function also. That is divorced from all the halagulla of Davos and all the media showing. So and this is the other surprising thing, Prabhu, that at the end of the 4 days or 5 days or even after a month, you never come to know what was the translation. There are grand announcements. Everybody has MOUs signed. The late Vilasrao Deshmukh once told me that if you totaled all the MOUs, they would, at any of these investor summits, they would be larger than the GDP of the state. So these kind of MOUs we've seen, but translation, what is the accountability? Nothing. I mean, as you rightly said, some of these ministers, there is no explanation as to why they were there. Absolutely none. I mean, I can
In,
understand a commerce minister going, IT minister going, finance minister going, but what is Prahlad Joshi doing there?
yeah, I mean, the thing, some bureaucrat who attended the house a couple of years ago, he retired now, told me in the morning, he says,
Hmm.
you add up from Narasimha Rao days till today, how much investment commitment various people have announced, including the chief minister and our own minister. By now, we would have been, Modi wants a 5 trillion economy by 2030. It would have become a 10 trillion
10
economy by
trillion
now.
economy by now, yes.
By now, he says, what is there?
Yeah.
How much has come? Actually, there should be some kind of analysis by the government. But whatever commitment done, there should be social editing or whatever you want, auditing should be done. How much money actually has come into India and whatever they claim and what happened 5 years later. Even 5 years analysis should be done. 5 years ago, if Mr. Naidu has gone and claimed this must have happened, 5 years ago, if somebody Indian big corporate has gone, this is going to happen. Has that happened or not? Or it will continue to become the tourist destination where you do a skiing. Second generation people also go along with you. So the time has come, and if India is such a big destination attraction, as you asked in the beginning, why can't they all be called to India and promise here and write the MOU back in India?
So we say we are the fastest growing economy. We are the fourth largest economy now. We are the center of talent, entrepreneurship, all of this. So why is India not hosting these events? Why can't India have a Davos or whatever you can call it, India Investment Summit, Vibrant India Summit, whatever they call it, and get all the chief ministers there. Let them make their presentations. Let us invite all the major corporations. The point is that if you are that big and that powerful and aiming to be Vishwaguru, then you should have the heft to hold something like this. So for starters, I think, Prabhu, this is a subject for the Public Accounts Committee and CAG to look into, as to how many trips have happened in the last, and maybe produce some document and present it to Parliament. This really is something that needs to be done.
You see, Shankar, I've looked at Davos, how much time they spend, because of the people who spend 4 or 5 days there, they take a week off and then weekend off because Friday it gets over, Saturday, Sunday, they go to next place, next destination nearby. But most of the important people who come there from heads of state, heads of government, and heads of various big corporations, they come in, fly out. They don't stay there.
Yeah.
Only people who
Absolutely.
stay there, 4,000 stroke Indian delegation, or the Babus, they accompanying their chief minister, like Pakistani must have come there. He was there. So why can't India can offer better? Chandrababu Naidu is the most aggressive person. Vizag is being developed there as a good destination there. It's a good beach also. He can start thinking of developing that into an international economic forum, India chapter. Why can't he do that?
In fact, he is a networker. He's been there 4 or 5 times. He knows the foreign corporations. He wants investment into Andhra Pradesh. Actually, the first India Global Summit should be handed over to Chandrababu Naidu and said, "You organize it."
Yeah, because the Gujarat is becoming the sports destination for everything. And they got, and let Andhra Pradesh become the point where investors can come together. So we are saying that why can't India is such an attractive destination? So why can't Indian city become also the point where all of them come in the morning flight? They always come in their own jets anyway, though they talk about environment pollution, but they pollute the atmosphere much more than the people there. So they can come here, they can do a thing here. But the question is, why I have not understood the logic, why it is becoming more and more attractive definition for corporate sectors. What do they do there?
I think this is more like a junket. I don't think anything is achieved. Most of if company A wants to deal with company B, or company A wants to invest in country C, that is done behind doors with a lot more groundwork and everything. These are all, as you say, speed dating. In this, now you have Tinder app for dating like this is the modern version of corporate dating. You do speed dating, corporates meet politicians, politicians meet investors. I think more of an advertisement, more like a billboard, a hoarding, that okay, hum bhi hai is race may kind of thing, but nothing that suggests that anything is that is done here cannot be achieved without being going to Davos.
No, but still the World Economic Forum, which I thought is a corporate identity, must be making a lot of money because it's a corporate promoting another corporate and bringing the policy maker them together. So this kind of a secretive meeting there, I would call it, is what comes out is public. But what happens in the closed cabin there, which are hired in advance, that is not known anywhere.
So this time, for instance, there are a lot of contradictions. I mean, every time they have one title for their conference. So this time it was dialogue, and the whole conference was hijacked by Donald Trump's agenda on Greenland, where there was no dialogue at all, and finally they agreed that there is a agreement, and nobody knows about the agreement. So the Donald Trump Greenland experience actually exposes the whole pattern of Davos every time. So for 4, 5, 6 years at least, I remember now, they spoke about climate change. This time, nobody spoke about climate change. Uh, to Biden's first year, they spoke about diversity and equity and inclusion and all that sustainability. This time, there was nothing about that. Every now and then, it's like a fashion festival. So just like in Paris or Mumbai, you have fashion festivals. You have a topic as a fashionable topic.
This was almost a themeless. There's no theme in that Davos there, because every collection of people, whatever they come for, there is a theme to that. There is some conclusion to that. I think Davos this time did not give a coherent message at all for the corporate world or the policy world or the global policy network. I don't think they had done any concrete in terms of environment, in terms of pollution, in terms of equality, in terms of population control, in terms of health control. Nothing has come out of it. They spoke about something that people, some I think the German chancellor spoke about it, inequality and whatnot can be done. I think he spoke about something. And the good statement was made by Canadian Prime Minister that, okay, middle level, middle power, you get a concept of some political strategy at a platform which is meant for corporate sector. So what is Davos? Davos is a mix of corporate, mix of politics, mix of lobbying. Ultimately, Davos, as far as I come out with, looks like nothing. There's no mission Davos. There's no missionary statement.
It's a grand Indian wedding which somebody else is paying for. You enjoy the atmosphere, network, and ask. Everybody smiles. Everybody has good news. And then you come back. I mean, this time it was the spirit of dialogue without dialogue. And then, you see all the headlines. They had 5 global challenges: investing in people, skilling, AI, cooperating in the new world. I mean, what cooperation? I mean, so most countries are now are only talking about.
Something I noticed this time was that I didn't need. They must be behind the scene. The CIA and FICCI, they used to organize it on behalf of the government of India. This time I didn't see much of CIA presence there. They used to have India install. Now I come to know today that Chief Minister was hosting dinners for various delegates and Minister was hosting some network meeting. There were more Indians than any foreigners there. So they're going to eat samosas and chicken biryani and whatnot, catered by various Indian hotels only. So this was more like the parties happening in Latin Delhi or south of Bombay or south of Chennai. That was happening where in Davos as well.
Mansingh coffee shop. Mansingh coffee shop.
So basically,
same pattern.
If we conclude, Shankar, can we say Davos was more a junket or some kind of a holiday for many people without anything, and it has not delivered any important message for India?
It has not yielded anything for India, and if India wants to spend, if India, government of India and companies in India want to spend their money, it is better spent on an Indian summit. At least the same GDP drivers of tourism spending will happen in India. If 4,000 people attend some summit in India, India will gain tourists and some revenue and maybe some FDI.
Basically, you're suggesting we should hold our own meeting here in India. The ROI on Davos was almost negligible. It should have been avoided. That's a lesson this time coming specifically from whatever statement we have noticed. And Chief Minister like Devendra Fadnavis should avoid meeting Indian industries abroad. He should be meeting them more often in India rather than there. Okay, thank you very much.
Shankar. Thank you.
I think that we'll meet next time and discuss some other topic. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye.